No one expected him to come back. Not the neighbors, not the police, and definitely not Karen. The mansion stood silent at the end of the street. Big iron gates, white walls, long driveway. Everyone in the neighborhood knew the house, but they all believed one thing: the owner was gone forever. For 3 years the mansion stayed empty. No lights, no cars, no movement, only rumors. Some said the owner was dead, some said he ran away. Others said the house would soon belong to the HOA. And that was where Karen came in. Karen was the head of the HOA. She loved rules, she loved control, and most of all, she loved power. Every house on the street feared her, but the mansion, that was her biggest target. One morning, Karen stood in front of the mansion gates with her arms crossed. "This house is abandoned," she said loudly to the neighbors. "It is unsafe. It breaks HOA rules." The neighbors nodded quietly. No one dared to argue. A week later, Karen called the police. "There is illegal activity inside the mansion," she told them. "I saw lights. I heard sounds. Someone is living there." The police arrived. They checked the gates. Locked. They checked records. The owner was still listed, but missing. No crime, no proof. But Karen didn't stop. She called again, and again, and again. Every time, she added more lies. There are squatters. There are dangerous people. There could be drugs. Finally, the police warned her. "Mom, if this continues without proof, it will be harassment." Karen smiled politely. "I understand," she said. But inside, she was angry, because Karen had a secret. Karen had a key. No one knew how she got it. Late at night, when the street was quiet, she unlocked the gate. She walked inside like she owned the place. At first, she only looked around. Then she brought furniture, then clothes, then food. Slowly, Karen moved into the mansion. She told herself, "I am protecting the neighborhood." But the truth was simple. She wanted the mansion. She slept in the master bedroom. She drank coffee on the balcony. She told friends, "This house will be mine soon." And no one stopped her, because the owner was gone. Or so she thought. One evening, a black car stopped across the street. A man sat inside watching the mansion. He didn't speak. He didn't move. His eyes stayed on the house. This man was the owner. He had been away for 3 years. Business overseas, no contact, no visits. But now he was back, and what he saw made his blood run cold. Lights were on inside his house. Curtains moved. Someone was living there. He checked the address again. No mistake. That was his mansion. The next morning, Karen made her biggest mistake. She called the police one more time. "This time it's serious," she said. "There is a man trying to break into the mansion. He looks suspicious." The police arrived fast. Neighbors came out to watch. Karen stood proudly, arms crossed again. Then the black car arrived. The man stepped out. Calm, well-dressed, confident. He walked toward the gate. Karen pointed at him. "That's him! Arrest him!" The police stopped the man. "Sir, what are you doing here?" The man looked at Karen, then at the house, and smiled. "I'm going home," he said. Karen laughed loudly. "Home? You don't live here." The man calmly took out his phone. He showed documents, property papers, ownership records, his name. The police went silent. Karen's face turned white. The officer cleared his throat. "Mom, this man is the legal owner." Karen stepped back. "That's impossible," she whispered. The owner walked to the gate. He unlocked it. The gate opened slowly. Creak. Everyone watched. Karen's heart started racing. The man stepped inside, and that was when everything fell apart. The owner walked through the front door and froze. Furniture, pictures, personal items. Someone had been living there, living comfortably. He turned slowly. Karen stood behind him. Her hands were shaking. What is this?" the owner asked quietly. Karen couldn't speak. The police stepped inside too. "This looks occupied," one officer said. The owner looked straight at Karen. "Did you do this?" Karen opened her mouth. No words came out. She was panicking, because she knew. This was no longer about HOA rules. This was about crime. And the worst part? The owner hadn't even checked the bedrooms yet. The owner took a step toward the hallway. Karen screamed, "Stop!" Everyone turned to look at her. Tears filled her eyes. "Please, don't go in there." The owner frowned. "Why?" Karen shook her head. Because inside that bedroom was proof that could destroy her life forever. Karen stood frozen. Her hands were shaking. Her eyes were full of fear. The owner looked at her one last time. "Move," he said calmly. Karen tried to block the hallway. "You don't understand," she said. "I was just taking care of the house." The police officer stepped forward. "Ma'am, step aside." Karen had no choice. She moved. The owner walked slowly toward the master bedroom. Every step felt heavy. He opened the door, and what he saw made him stop breathing. The room was fully lived in. Clothes in the closet, shoes lined up neatly, perfume bottles on the table, on the wall, family photos, but not his family, Karen's family. Karen standing in the mansion, Karen smiling on the balcony, Karen acting like the owner. The silence in the room was loud. The police officer whispered, "She was living here." The owner clenched his jaw. "For how long?" he asked. Karen started crying. "I had nowhere else to go," she lied. Karen sat on the bed like she owned it. "The house was empty," she said. "No one cared about it." The owner turned to her. "I cared," he said quietly. "It's my home." Karen shook her head. "You disappeared. Everyone thought you were gone forever." The owner's voice stayed calm. "I never gave permission." The police officer took notes. "Ma'am, did you break into this property?" Karen wiped her tears. "No," she said quickly. "I had a key." The officer looked surprised. "Where did you get it?" Karen looked down. No answer. Outside, neighbors whispered. "I knew something was wrong. She always wanted that house. She acted like a queen." One neighbor stepped forward. "She told us the house would belong to HOA soon." The owner heard that. His eyes darkened. "So you planned this," he said. Karen screamed, "I was protecting the community." The police officer raised his hand. "Ma'am, calm down." But Karen couldn't, because the truth was coming out. The owner walked into the study room, his office, or what used to be his office. Now it looked different. HOA files on the desk, official stamps, fake letters. The officer picked one up. "These are eviction notices," he said. The owner read one, his own house, marked as abandoned, signed by Karen. "This is fraud," the officer said. Karen collapsed into a chair. "I was going to fix everything," she cried. "I just needed time." The owner looked at her coldly. "You stole my home." The police officer spoke into his radio. "We need backup." Karen stood up fast. "No, please, we can talk." The owner didn't say a word. He watched. The handcuffs came out. Karen's face turned pale. "This is a mistake," she said. "I'm the HOA president," the officer replied. "You are a trespasser." Click. The handcuffs closed. Karen screamed. Neighbors gasped. Cameras came out. Her perfect image was gone. As they walked Karen outside, she turned to the owner. "You think you won?" she said angrily. "This neighborhood will never accept you." The owner smiled softly. "I don't need them," he said. "I just need my home." But then the officer stopped. "Sir," he said. "There's one more thing." The officer held up a document, a bank notice. Karen had taken loans, using the mansion as security. The owner's smile faded. "This isn't over," the officer said. Karen laughed, even in handcuffs. The owner looked at his house, his dream home, now in danger. Karen was taken away, but her damage remained. The question was clear. Could he save his mansion? Or had Karen already destroyed everything? The mansion was quiet again, but peace did not come easily. The owner sat alone in the living room. Lawyers' papers covered the table. Bills, notices, bank letters. Karen had caused deep damage. She used his house. She used his name. She used his silence. Now, everything had to be fixed. 2 weeks later, the courtroom was full. Neighbors came to watch. HOA members sat quietly. Karen stood in front. No makeup, no power. She looked smaller now. The judge entered. "Case number 317, the judge said. "Illegal occupation, fraud, and abuse of authority." Karen's lawyer stood. "My client believed the property was abandoned." The owner's lawyer smiled. "Belief is not ownership," he said. The judge nodded. The owner took the stand. He spoke slowly, clearly. "I never sold my house. I never gave a key. I never gave permission." Then the police officer testified. "She broke in. She lived there. She made fake documents." The judge looked at Karen. "Did you do this?" Karen's voice was weak. "Yes." Gasps filled the room. One by one, neighbors stood. "She threatened fines. She lied to us. She said the mansion was hers." The HOA board members lowered their heads. They knew Karen abused her power. The judge took a deep breath. "Karen," he said, "you broke the law." The room was silent. "You are guilty." Karen started crying. HOA title revoked. Fines issued. Community service ordered. Jail time suspended. Only one chance. Karen collapsed. Her power was gone. Next came the bank case. The judge spoke again. "All loans taken illegally are void." The owner closed his eyes. Relief. "The mansion belongs fully to the owner," the judge said. Karen looked up. She had lost everything. Weeks later, the owner returned home. The mansion was cleaned, locks changed, security installed. A new gate sign was placed. Private property, no HOA control. One evening, someone stood outside. Karen, wearing old clothes, holding a paper bag. She looked at the gate. She didn't knock. She just turned around and walked away. The owner stood on the balcony, coffee in his hand, peace in his heart. He didn't seek revenge. He let karma do the work. The mansion was his again. And this time, everyone knew it.